Today, I have a very special guest with me. I have the author of Cloud Scale Analytics with Azure Data Services with me. It's Patrick Borosch. I had the honor to work with Patrick before in the past when I was also located in Switzerland. And I'm really excited to have him on my show. Patrick, welcome.
Thank you, Dave, for having me. It's been a while.
It has been a while. It was good to reconnect just before the recording. Now, one thing I mentioned it to you that I learned during the pandemic is that you're actually a musician. I did not know before. You posted some videos, I think on Facebook, of you playing guitar. Then you posted some concerts. And so it kind of like wondered you're a very interesting person. It seems like a person with many talents. Why, if you write a book, do you write about cloud scale analytics? Like, what was the motivation? Why about this and not anything else in the world?
No, that's really good question. And because there's also a lot of well-written stuff already about Azure tools, but what I was missing was the link between the different tools and how they can be used together. So there's, and it's also a reason why I try to attempt to offer some t-shirt sizes and different approaches in the beginning. Any company is different. When you look at the services we offer on Azure, you will always find a combination of tools that you can use. And there's, that's my candy shop there. The second reason for me was to point out the options of our new flagship products in the analytical area. There's nothing like Synapse Analytics out there. This suit's just groundbreaking with all the options, SQL for relational databases, but also for data lake analytics. Spark clusters, an ETL tool, Power BI integrated in the whole platform, management, security, monitoring integrated, everything that it offers. But it's not only also about Synapse. Like I said, Azure, it's my candy shop and for all kinds of analytical approaches. And for example, like streaming or IoT approaches, machine learning and AI, of course.
Now, for my viewers, if you didn't understand exactly everything that Patrick said, the good news is one of the things I liked really the most is like in the beginning, you take the time to explain a lot of different technical concepts, the differences. And I was really super amazed by the balance you found of striking, let's say, a way that I could understand it. I think a lot of non-people or non-experts in this area would find insightful and helpful, but still technical depth that I think a person that already works in this world for many years is not going to be bored and be like, oh, this book wasn't for me. But that brings me to that question. Who did you write it for? Like, who did you have in mind that this book will be super helpful?
That's my intention was to cover the analytical services on Azure, both for beginners, but also for the pros, maybe coming from on-prem and not knowing exactly where to go on Azure for analytical environments. And I wanted to make it easy to start with those tools. It might be also a good starting point for deciders too, who want to get an overview of the capabilities of the platform.
So I think you did that balance really well. So again, if you're watching this, get the book. I really recommend it that you read it. Now, I assume that when you wrote it, you are working in this area or on this topic for many, many years. I'm sure you've seen a lot of things that were in common across different companies and projects. And some of these learnings, I think, are in here and best practices. What would you hope, if there's like one thing that you hope that a reader takes out of this book, what do you hope that should be?
Well, it's really the hope from my side that they will find an easy entry into Azure and the analytical world, especially of Azure. And maybe also sometimes use the book to refer back when they don't exactly remember how a certain topic can be built or provisioned, or what the functional capabilities of some services might be. So like maybe a small reference or something.
I think it's definitely a book where you can go back and look into it. Now, I mentioned it briefly, you have worked on this topic for a very long time, but just for the viewers, so they understand exactly how much experience landed in this book, can you give us just a short summary of your background and how long you actually work on data analytics.
Oh, wow. I always told when I introduced myself, people that I've been working now for around 15 to 18 years later on. And recently I sat back and calculated when I started writing the book, and recognized I was 27 years now working in business intelligence. And, I started off as a data processor when I did my apprenticeship. So even learning COBOL and Informix databases, and there we were. So that brought me into this analytical world. So I was never the big nerd with computers when I was a kid. But after my apprenticeship, it was just like instantly attached to everything that was around analytics and what you can do with it. So, seeing the company, how it behaves, and where you're standing. Also, gaining information out of data. That's one of the most fascinating pieces of IT that you can do. And then also visualizing and trying to even tell a story with it.
Yeah, I'm specifically a fan of storytelling, obviously with numbers, but now just to repeat, so if you're not sure yet or on the fence if you should get a copy of this book, it's 27 years of experience that led up to writing this book. So just, it really comes with a rich expertise and experience that he made over the year. Now, you mentioned very quickly, like giving advice, etc. Is there like one piece of advice that you recall in the topics of, let's say, analytics and data that you have been given that stuck with you through all these years?
It's especially the two advices that I had from my, let's say, mentors or from the people that I learned from. One, of course, was giving up is not an option. So you're in there and you're gonna go through it, and that was also what drove me writing, because it was a tough time frame with writing the book, and there were of course also moments when you say, oh no, it's now 10 o'clock in the evening, so no, but then you see, okay, come on, let's go, let's do this, and you need some this motivation somehow. And the other one that was very, I didn't get it in the beginning when my mentor told me, in IT, you gotta be lazy. You gotta be a lazy bastard, because with that, you'll be one of the most creative programmers that you have. It's like solving many problems and helping you to solve the problems with small tools or stuff like that. And that led me thinking. In the beginning, I didn't really get what he meant, but soon it kicked in. And it's really like it. So you're gonna be really more creative when you kind of like, oh, do I really need to do it like that way? Or is there maybe another one?
I could hear that. And now I have to ask, was your mentor Bill Gates? I'm just kidding, because he always says he would rather hire the lazy person, because the lazy person is going to find the quickest way to get something done.
Oh, really? No, I was not completely unaware of that quote. Really?
Yeah, he said that once in an interview. But now to go back to technology, is there a piece of technology that you think is still missing or you wish that would exist?
In general or on Azure? Because in general, it would be like what I would envision is like, hey, let's make nuclear fusion become reality, because then we can build the teleporter of Star Trek. And that was something I love. Like, just to be, we would not have to sit between oceans between us. I could be in your office there
right now.
What I would like to see is, for example, also holographic displays, and maybe coming into that with into these options, maybe having the HoloLens smaller, or other augmented reality devices, and maybe somewhere even without the device. That would be cool.
That would be pretty cool, yeah. That would be pretty... Or even if it's just out of the watch, right? Even if you had a small device, but it could make a big hologram in the room. That would definitely shake up the TV industry. Like, if one day all you have is like a little thing and it just streams in. Now, one question I like to ask all the people I interview is, if there were to be a sandwich named after you, what would be the ingredients of that sandwich?
Yeah, I've been to the States sometimes, and one of my most favorite sandwiches is a Philly cheesesteak sandwich. And if it would be a sandwich named after me, it would be a Philly cheesesteak sandwich with somehow a mixture of chili, something on top of it, and some Indian spices. I don't know, like something like that. So it would be weird, but I would love it.
Interesting choice. Now, I do want to wrap it up here. So thank you very much for joining me on this vlog today. I have to say a big thank you to you and to your publisher and to my viewers. They actually offered to give away a few free copies, and to make it a little bit more interesting, I thought, if you think you should get a free copy of this book, leave in the comments on YouTube what you would like to solve with analytics, and I will pick the winners in a week from now. I just go through, and the ones that either make me smile or cry probably gonna win a book. So be creative what you write in it. And again, Patrick, thank you very much for coming to today's episode.
Thanks so much for having me.
And I wish you the best of luck with selling this book. And if you don't win it, don't hesitate, just purchase it. I will link the Amazon or the link also in the description. Thank you very much. D. Dave Kurt out.